I'm sure you're asking yourself, hey, Big D, what's the adventure today? We've already done a lot of fun stuff. What could possibly top the last 3 adventures? We're heading out to Rose Island Lighthouse. We'll take a small boat out there, and we're spending the night in a Revolutionary War bunker. Let's get going. We've arrived at Fort Adams. This is where our boat will be leaving. I got to go find the visitor center and pay for my parking and find out where our boat is. Accommodations tonight. Ancient brick bunker. So this is the haunted barracks. At one point it was used for folks in Newport that had cholera. I suspect many of them died, and perhaps some of their spirits remained here. While we're waiting for this fire to burn down and get some good hot coals for cooking, I'm going to enjoy the pork rinds and cracklings we made in the kitchen. The ingredients we're using today is a package of salt pork, about a pound, 1 big yellow onion, brown sugar, freshly ground salt, coarse ground pepper, yellow-eyed beans, and butter. We're going to start by cutting our salt pork into cubes and removing any rind or anything that we don't really want to be chewing on, which we're not going to throw away. We're going to do something else with that later on. But we want to take our cubed salt pork and we're going to soak it overnight. Now I get to cry. We're going to put these dry beans soaking in water and salt into the refrigerator overnight. We're going to make a traditional corn pone. So I'm starting with a 1/2 cup of cornmeal, a pretty good amount of salt. We're going to add our hot water. I'm going to use a pat of butter here to give it a little something to hold it together. See, now we're starting to get kind of a doughy consistency. I'm going to throw a towel over this and let it sit for a while. So our corn pone batter has had time to sit up. I'm going to measure about a 1/4 cup of our batter for each corn pone. We want to make sure it's only about a 1/4 inch thick, or we won't get it fully cooked through. Come on, corn cake. Keep it together. Keep it together. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. All right, here we go. Our beans have soaked overnight. Our pork is soaked overnight. What you're rinsing off on these beans is also the enzymes that cause gassiness. Beans, they're good for your heart. The more you eat, the more heart protecting benefits you get. The pork, we're just trying to get the salt out of the pork. Remember I told you yesterday we were saving the rinds from the salt pork? We took those rinds, dried them out in the oven at 200 degrees for a long amount of time, and then threw them back in the oven once they were dry at 450. We've made pork cracklings and pork rinds. Beautiful and crispy. And we're going to be frying up our salt pork along with the onions that we cut up yesterday. And then that's all going to go together and bake for hours. It smells good in here. Adding about a third of a cup of brown sugar. And we're going to add some coarse ground pepper. Oven's preheated to 220 degrees. It's been about 6 hours since we first put the beans in the oven. I went ahead and jarred up what I'm going to be taking to the island, and we're going to eat like a revolutionary soldier. If you remember, I cut all these pieces off before I had soaked my salt pork overnight. So these have all the salt that was in that salt pork, and I'm telling you right now, it's a damn good thing I soaked the salt out of it. These are delicious, but man, are they salty. Well, there's dinner, Revolutionary War style. So, yellow-eyed beans with salt pork and corn pone. It's pretty tasty. The pork is delicious and tender and has a great flavor to it. The pork fat that's on there just absolutely melts in your mouth. It's rendered down perfectly. And the beans themselves, they have a great texture, nice and soft, and they have kind of a buttery flavor. You can just get the hint of brown sugar in there, and I'd give it a 6 out of 10, unless you consider salt, and then it gets about a 2 out of 10. Water. So at this point in the adventure, I've seen significantly less ghosts than I had anticipated I would see. I guess the place is spooky enough. Maybe that's all it takes. Well, the night is young. Maybe around midnight something scary will happen. Let's cross our fingers. What was that? Just kidding. I think the whole ghost thing was grossly overhyped. I did have one visitor last night. A little cricket got under the door. It chirped a few times. Other than that, I slept really well. It's morning time. The sun's just starting to come up. And I'm ready for breakfast. I'm not going to bother with a campfire. It was put out last night. The general rule is, in modern days, you put out a fire at night. You dump a bucket of water on it so it can't, I guess, jump out and get anybody. Which means in the morning, you have to start from scratch. Traditionally, you'd leave a fire going all the time. I'd get up in the morning, I could go down, I get it stoked back up and immediately start cooking. That's not going to happen today. So we're cheating a bit. So you're asking yourself, what does a Revolutionary War soldier have for breakfast? Well, this Revolutionary War soldier is having porridge, which is oatmeal, cream, and some dried peaches, and coffee. Oh, that hits a spot. I would definitely do this trip again. I really enjoyed it. Wasn't a single ghost on the island that I could find, but it was worth a look. I hope everybody enjoyed this episode of Big D's Little Adventures. I had a lot of fun making it. If you could hit the subscribe and like buttons, that would be really good. I'd appreciate that. Tell your friends about this. If anybody has any great ideas for other adventures we can go on, send them to me. Put them in the comments. We're looking for all kinds of fun stuff to do.